Hello and welcome to another video here on Cruise and Coasters. I'm Jeff and today we are at park number 12 of our USA theme park tour, and it's my old stomping grounds at Six Flags Great America just outside of Chicago, Illinois and Gurnee, Illinois. I don't know if I've ever shared with the channel, but I actually worked here. Back in 2012, I helped open up X-Flight, the park's wing coaster, on their opening team, and I loved that year so much. My friends Megan and Jamie and I, we lived in a little studio, not even an apartment. We literally lived in a studio hotel for the summer, and it was unhinged and wild, but it was one of the best years of my life, and I absolutely love and adore this park so much. So excited to get on Maxx Force, one of the fastest accelerating coasters, I think, in the world now that Dodonpa is closed at Fuji-Q Highland. Of course, to get back on X-Flight, Goliath, the RMC coaster, and it looks like it's gonna be an absolute beautiful day here. So let's head on into the park, Six Flags Great America. Let's go, Park 12. Since Maxx Force can be a little temperamental girly, we decided why not do that one first. So we are heading to Maxx Force first. I'm excited. I have done this before, but it has been a few years. Excited to feel that launch, especially now that I've done Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm, kind of see how this one compares.
It's the thing that we're
just finished up our ride on Maxx Force, and holy cow, that launch is absolutely bonkers. That is crazy, insanity. Oh man, it almost borderline feels like you're just kind of getting rear-ended by something because the launch is just that powerful. Other than the launch, the ride is kind of just like, okay, it's fun, it exists, she's cute, she's quirky. I do really like the zero-G roll. Like, it's really fast. I think they say you go through it like over 70 miles an hour, and it's really fun, adds a little bit of whip to it. And I think my other takeaway that I had on this ride was just how smooth it was. It was butter glass smooth, absolutely phenomenal, so great. What's really interesting is, so S&S did this coaster, of course, and then they also did Steel Curtain around the same time, and it's just very interesting that they can keep Maxx Force running, but Steel Curtain has had such like trouble, and I've heard it's been with the trains, but these trains seem to be running totally fine. So really curious like what the difference is and like what the issue is at Steel Curtain. But great first ride here at Six Flags Great America on Maxx Force. Second ride of the day ended up being Goliath, the park's RMC coaster. It is a great coaster. It is a lot of fun. I think it's very similar to Orion for me, that it's just a little short and just misses the mark. You kind of get back to the brake run and you're like, where's the rest of it? In terms of RMCs, I think the dive loop is probably my favorite element on this ride, and you dive through the structure, which is a lot of fun. The stall is actually really good too. You can definitely tell that this is a topper track versus the actual steel track RMCs that exist today, because it is a little bit bouncier, has a little bit like more, like, I don't want to say roughness, but you can just kind of feel the movement a little bit more. But I do enjoy that. It gives it like that true like wooden coaster feel, but with a modern edge. I really like some good moments of airtime, but overall just a little short, a little weak for me, but still a great RMC. New for 2024 here at Great America is Sky Striker, which is a giant frisbee, which I'm really excited about. I'm also very excited that they didn't just clone like the theme from another park, and they went with something very original. So yeah, we're gonna take a ride on this next. As we got in line for Sky Striker, it unfortunately went down. It seems like those frisbees have a lot of technical issues because none of them have been open at any of the parks that we've been to so far. So we are gonna go to X-Flight instead and see maybe if it opens by the time we got off X-Flight. So X-Flight was the ride that I worked in 2012. I helped open the ride. So it is a little nostalgic for me being back here. Just finished up our ride on the B&M Wing Coaster X-Flight here at Great America, and I will say she is certainly running better than she was in 2021 during my visit. Back then she was rattly, rumbly, absolute mess. She seems to be running a little bit smoother this season, which I really do appreciate. You can really feel the rumble when you go through the like lower curve up into the second zero-G stall, like over the lake area or the pond that they've kind of set up, and then in the helix it is really rumbly, really bumpy. But other than that, it's overall pretty smooth, and I do like the smaller wing coasters that kind of just do element after element after element without having to slow down in a mid-course. And I think this has some of the best near-miss elements. Flying through that control tower is excellent. Such a fantastic near-miss element.
All clear. Clear block. Are you guys ready for this?
Just finished up a ride on the Flash Vertical Velocity, the Intamin inverted shuttle coaster here at Six Flags Great America, and I had a great time. I really liked Possessed at Dorney Park. This one runs very similar. I forgot how many G-forces you really do get on this. You get some great positive G-forces at the pull-ups and pull-throughs, I guess is what they're called. I don't know what they're called. And then some really great moments of weightlessness too at the top of the towers. Excellent view of the park as well. We rode in the front row, and it was really fun to like look over the midway straight down at the people below. Really, really fun ride. You guys, I think I found a cute little gem to have lunch at today. It's called the Yukon Barbecue Pit. It's located kind of near Flash, the Vertical Velocity, Little Dipper go-kart area. And I'll show you what I got, but they do have like brisket, turkey, salmon, sausage, tons of like barbecue offerings, and it looks to be a really, really good value, and our season-long dining was accepted here. I went with the smoked sausage with potato salad, and it came with a cornbread muffin, and then they have these different sauces for you to use. So they have citrus chipotle, honey barbecue, I think this was like a Kansas City classic, and then I think this was Carolina tangy gold. So this looks delicious, and like I said, such a great value. Just got off Batman, the park's B&M inverted coaster, and fun fact, if you guys watched my Six Flags Great Adventure vlog, you guys would know that this is actually the prototype for the inverted coaster by B&M. And for a prototype, she is running beautiful, spectacular, immaculate. She is everything. She is slaying the game today. She was so smooth, so forceful, so whippy. Absolute fantastic ride on Batman this time. The only thing that I can compare this to, like in modern roller coaster history, is probably watching the single rails by RMC run for the first time, like Wonder Woman or Railblazer, and just, man, for a prototype, they just got it so right the first time. It's compact, it's fun, it's forceful, it's smooth, enjoyable, and some really good whip on the flat spins. That's probably my favorite part. Some really, really fun whip over those flat spins. Ugh, unfortunately, this mess is next because I don't have the credit yet. So I need to ride this at least one time today. That is unfortunate. guys know, I try to find the redeeming quality in most rides, theme parks, attractions, and give you like a really unbiased pro-con list. This thing sucked. I feel like we're close enough. We're besties now. I can be honest with you. I hated this thing. I really don't love these 4D models. I like the smaller one, like at King's Dominion, but this was downright terrible, awful. We spun, I think, 5 or 6 times in total, including 3 just in a row, and then hung me upside down. Not a fan, hated it. If you love this kind of thing, happy for you, not for me. We're gonna do something else, because that was never again. Okay, Superman, you forceful little thing. We rode in the front row because there was no line, so why not? And it was super smooth today. It was way smoother than Six Flags Great Adventures was running like last week when we were there. And also that pretzel loop was so forceful as always. I'm not a big fan of the pretzel loop. I can like skip past it. But the little swish backs, like the little turns, were actually providing a lot of good positive force to it too. I was impressed. Also, it's amazing what a little landscaping can do, because Great Adventures was basically on like a flat plot of grass in the parking lot. This has a lot of like landscaping and trees, and it just looks so much nicer. Up next is the Dark Knight Coaster, which is the indoor Wild Mouse. Man, we are just like blasting through all of the rides at the park today. It's not even 3 o'clock. We're having a great day so far. They were running this little limited edition drink at Great Adventure, but it had a super long line, but there was no one in line. So this is a Sprite with like coconut syrup, blue curacao, and then some red fish. It's a fishbowl. It's super cute, and it is non-alcoholic. While I was drinking my fishbowl, it tasted super familiar, and I think it reminds me a lot of if you've ever had the ocean water from Sonic, or they even have like the drink mixes. It tastes a lot like that. It's really good, and it's really, really refreshing. A fantastic ride on Viper. So Viper here is a mirror image clone of Cyclone at Luna Park in New York. And I remember riding in 2021 and thinking it was a rough, chaotic mess, certified rattly disaster. I think that it had some track work done in the off season. Someone can fact check me in the comments, let me know if that's right or wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they got some significant track work, and the love and investment truly shows. Some really good fun pops of airtime, some really good lateral forces on that as well. I think that was a really enjoyable ride. One of my favorite wooden coasters of the trip so far, to be really honest with you guys. I also want to give a massive shout out to this park. Six Flags Great America is absolutely killing it today. The operations have been, I think, the best of the entire trip so far. Maybe not as good as Cedar Point, but really freaking close. Most rides are running with 2 people on platform, but they are absolutely crushing it. If they were given the same resources as Cedar Point has, like 4 or 6 people on platform, they'd absolutely crush them when it comes to operations. Everyone's been friendly. It's been a really, really enjoyable day here. I think that this is probably my favorite Six Flags park. Maybe Fiesta Texas has like just a little edge over it, but honestly, they're absolutely crushing it today, and it doesn't even feel like a Six Flags park in my opinion.
It's just for state.
Okay.
Like after I congratulate.
Raging Bull, they could never make me hate you. This ride gets so much hate and so much like pushback that it's not a great B&M Hyper. It's fantastic. You just gotta ride in the back. We rode in row 9, and the airtime moment coming off of the first drop, but most importantly, coming off the mid-course brake run is actually insane. It is unhinged ejector airtime with just a clamshell restraint, no seatbelt, absolutely fantastic. The rest of the ride was actually running really, really well too. We'd get some like floater airtime. The trims were not heavy. I know that people hate the trims on this ride. And then the fun little like positive G's in the twister section at the end was running really, really well too. So Raging Bull is getting like an A+ for me for 2024. So if you haven't been on it lately, you should try it again. Try it in row 9 and let me know what your thoughts are, because I think it was absolutely fantastic. Demon, which is their aero multi-looping coaster here, and I have some thoughts on it. First, I was not expecting like the incredible pop of airtime going off the first drop. We were in the back row, so we got whipped over, some really good airtime there. And then the first 2 vertical loops were super forceful and not as janky as a typical aero one. They ran kind of smoother, which was great. However, the positive G's were so good that my harness came down like 2 or 3 extra clicks and then absolutely stapled me in there. And then for the corkscrews, it was running in super goofy mode and like shook me left to right and was really, really uncomfortable. So I didn't love the finale, but the beginning half of it was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I love that they've kept their aero coaster running. A lot of parks have opted to replace them, and I'm really glad that it's still here. We came back to try to do Sky Striker again, and again, it is closed. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get on this today. Maybe we'll try a little bit later in the evening. But for now, we are going to check out American Eagle, which is the park's racing wooden coaster built by Intamin. We did the American Eagle. It's the only ride here that we've done that didn't have Flash Pass or just no line whatsoever. We ended up waiting about 35 minutes for it. It's really tricky to also get some off-ride of it because it's kind of tucked away in the corner of the park. But it definitely sounds worse of a ride than what it actually feels like on it. It sounds really rough, but it's actually not too bad. I would say like middle of the pack in terms of roughness. In terms of like actual ride experience, I'm gonna give it like a okay. It was running kind of like sluggish, I would say. I think you do get a little bit of like good airtime coming out of the big helix that's in the back, and we were sitting in the back of the car, we kind of whipped forward. And then you also get some good like lateral coming out of that helix as well. But other than that, it was kind of like okay for me. We found like what looks like another cute little like place for the dining plan. It's called the Windy City Bar and Grill, and I'll show you what I got to eat here. But it's air conditioned, it's really nice. It has very like unique items compared to like most Six Flags parks, and it doesn't seem to be very busy in here either. There's not a long line, and it's like dinner time, so could be a good find for you. So I'll show you what I got. I went with the boneless sweet Thai chili chicken bites with a side of celery and ranch dressing. It looks delicious. It smells really good. Ended the night the same way that we started the day, with a ride on Maxx Force, and we decided to wait for the front row, and oh my gosh, that was 100% worth it. That launch is absolutely insane and bonkers. It literally feels like you go 0 to 80 instantly, like without any buildup whatsoever. It's absolutely phenomenal. Such a fun little launch coaster. And what an amazing day we've had here at Six Flags Great America. We've been here for almost 12 hours and it's been an absolute spectacular day. One of the best days, I think, of the trip so far. It was so great to get back here on some of my favorite rides and really find like new love in some of the new coasters like Maxx Force and Goliath. Just absolutely had such a great day here. The operations here, the crews absolutely killed it. They were so efficient, so friendly, absolutely just killing it. That's what they were doing. The food, we found two little fun places that were so unique to different Six Flags, and really glad that we found those locations, and just had absolutely beautiful weather today. What a spectacular day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys following along this USA theme park tour. Tomorrow is Lucky Park 13 of the trip, which is going to be a first for us ever. I've never been to Lost Island in Iowa. I've actually never been to Iowa. I don't know if I even know anyone from Iowa. I don't know. What do you even do in Iowa? Go to Lost Island, apparently. I've never met someone that's like, oh, I'm from Iowa. Does it even exist? Find out on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you guys want to see us at Lost Island. Hit like to fight the YouTube algorithm. Keep cruising and coasting. I'll see you guys at Lost Island. Bye.